since I've been here in like 3 months, I've been bombarded with something about apologizing to white folks. Like, okay, take back what you said. Then it's the other one was something about nosy white people. Then it was um giving who somebody's giving out the vaccine. Then it was what was it? Um, an STD. Then it was another STD. Then it was supposed to have given. Da da da. Then it's definitely supposed to have given. Then it's talking in my sleep again. Then it's talking in the hallway to people, and it's supposed to be spirits. Then all of a sudden, it's you don't hear it again. And then the hallway's quiet. Her. Don't really get issues from certain individuals. Now, whatchamacallit is talking though, and I'm like, oh my god, like you weren't really talking, so please don't start. Like I'm looking at her like, okay, shh, don't join in. Like, because now you're what? Now it's a whole bunch of Spanish people, and you're like, you said at the last place the Spanish people were at, what was it? See the housing place in the Bronx talking about being replacing. And I'm like, oh Lord. Then all of a sudden, racist white folks was there. Then all of a sudden is Bo. Who is Bo? Um, and was it Boston's kids? I think that's right. Boston's kids, and Daddy B is outside. Oh ha ha ha! He's not. That's not him. So I was even looking at New York City like, what the fuck are y'all going through? This is harassment in relation to me because it's unwanted behavior from you guys. I get if you're showing somebody, but it's clearly like you're not. I was like, somebody would have been said, okay, I think that's more than enough. You have the waking up, speaking, and saying stuff. You have the saying stuff when I'm about to do stuff. You have to try to cut. It's almost the same exact formula, except for you're missing one key element because you've done it consistently. And now I'm just like, I was already tired in January. I was beyond tired. But as you saw, after January, somebody kept on. I'm just like, okay, we should stop now. It's New Year, new antics. I think I even said that in one post, but it just kept on. Now we're here. Oh, and the leader thing in the sun. And then we went from people who are tired of doing what whatchamacallit as. Was it both things? Stop making that da da da. I was like, okay, that's weird. Then all of a sudden it was, oh, sun's out. That they don't do that no more. Then all of a sudden it was, what else was it? This is my store. We all went down to the food market. TD2. At the post office, slowing down my passport, DMV, Spectrum, Jax. And now I'm just sitting here like, and we're back again. But now the shelter's being quiet, and it's more coming from the window side. So I'm just like, oh, okay. But then the shelter side, inside, I'm like, you still have that repeating what's being said. So it's like, if you're going to repeat what's being said, you should probably repeat it quietly or send it in a text, like a group text, like, hey, I heard blah, 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 send text. So I'm just like, y'all look very suspect. And then I'm like, you have somebody here that you know, one, a lot of people, it's the one person that said I had you figured out all wrong, and somebody else said it too. I think it was the guy, like the other guy. I think he apologized or something. 710. I was like, oh wow, nice. Oh, then you had aliens who you had, which I'm just like, it's a lot on me, and I think you all are kind of selfish. I think you all are jerks to even do this and not come to a resolution or not come to some simple fact that, okay, I think Joseph doesn't deserve this based off what you've seen in New York Presbyterian, based off Bronx Hospital, all these different hospitals, you've seen stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool, Elmhurst, Mount Sinai. So I'm just like, you know all of that. And even I think I had put up a recording from St. Joseph's. I gotta look online and make sure it's there. But I'm pretty sure I recorded at St. Joseph, and you could hear them doing, like somebody instructing people on not to draw blood or do this or do that. And I'm like, why aren't you drawing blood? Like, if that's one thing you want to make sure you get test of, and I don't get this whole thing now. It's just, you have what, the mobile crisis unit pop up and stop by, and they're like 3 times, and nobody leaves a message, a name, a number, or nothing. In mobile crisis, that means there's some things you need to come out and you need to talk, right? So what I would do is I leave a card with a name on it in the envelope and say, here goes my personal information, give it directly to this person, whoop de whoop, none of that. Then the police are starting back up, so I'm like, oh my God, so here comes the police. I haven't said nothing when I passed by him. I just kept thinking, oh Lord, please not going to start up again. And then sure enough, they bring up, and I'm just like, why y'all keep bringing it up around me? I'm like, are you getting any further? Because you're not doing anything I ask, really. If you do something I ask, you get a hell of a lot further. I mean, think about it. If somebody's trying to, or somebody actually you can kind of tell they are, pulling me into all this mess, what if you actually did right? You said, hey, you know, we wrong, we should have did this hospital's gonna give me that hospital's gonna give me this, you know, da 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 da, instead of having me go through court, which is gonna be more time for somebody to play, and you not to figure out stuff. And it's gonna have me sitting right here doing the same crap over and over again, more people knowing this weird stuff. Wouldn't it be better to be like, oh, here you go, let's nip this in the bud, let's go ahead and get you out the way, let's see what happens. Maybe if I left, if somebody say, oh, it's fine, maybe it wouldn't follow. Have anybody ever thought of that? I'd be like, maybe it'll just be like, oh, well, I just wanted to make sure he got on and got it was okay. Da, da, da. Like all somebody's doing is literally, like I heard out the window, causing problems to me. I guess they fix some, probably, maybe. I don't know. They really don't. I don't know. And you got some people trying to. It's just it's stupid. Like stop covering for anybody. Stop shaking your head. No. Stop saying this. Stop saying that. Stop saying this. Stop saying that. Somehow you probably need to say that every day. I'm here, so everybody thinks that it. Right, you probably want to say that. Yo, he's not gonna. Like, give what you think. Oh, I'm gonna give. No, okay. All right, I seriously doubt that. Somebody else is gonna say, which they're allowed to continue to say, I bet that's da 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 da.